Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It is Crystal here, and in this video, what we're going to be talking about is estimation. So we're going to be discussing the two types of estimation, being 1 point estimate and 2 interval estimate. So we're going to create a small little program in R to demonstrate the point estimate. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to generate the sample data, and we're going to set the seed. And so what happens when you set the seed is every time you run the program, the variables will be initialized to the same values. So you say set.seed brackets 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to create the data, the sample data. So X becomes R norm brackets 50, mean, SD equals 2. So R norm means it's a normal distribution which is randomly selected. 50 means you've got 50 samples. Mean is 10 and standard deviation is 2. And then we're going to calculate the point estimate, which is the sample mean. So point S becomes mean of X. And then we're going to plot it on a histogram. So hist brackets X, main equals histogram with mean plot point estimate. XLab is the X label is value, color equals light blue, border equals white. So we're going to add a vertical line for the mean. So AB line brackets V equals point estimate, color equals red, line width equals 3. We're going to add a text label, text brackets point estimate, par brackets user brackets square brackets 4 times 0.9. Labels equals paste brackets mean, mean equals, round point S, 2, color equals red. So paste is just a different type of print command, but you have to use paste if you want to have like a text in with the variable that you're putting in. So this is a histogram of the point estimate. So you can see that we've got a normal distribution with 50 samples in it, and then you've got your mean of 10.07 that's been made into a histogram. So the next thing we're going to talk about is your interval estimate. So an interval estimation provides a range of values within which the population parameter is likely to lie, along with a specified level of confidence. Interval estimate example with histogram and vertical lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little program that's going to give us an interval estimate so you can see how it works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to generate our sample data. So we're going to set the seed of brackets 1, 2, 3. And so what happens is every time you run that program, the variables are going to be initialized to the same value. So X becomes R norm brackets 50, mean equals 10, SD equals 2. So R norm is a randomly sampled normal distribution of 50 samples, a mean of 10, a standard deviation of 2. So we're going to calculate the point estimate of the sample mean. So point S becomes mean brackets X, and then we're going to calculate the standard error. So SE becomes SD brackets X divided by the square root of length of X. So that's your standard deviation of X divided by the square root of the number of elements in X. And so since we have said that X has 50 elements in it, it's going to be square root of 50. And then we're going to calculate our confidence interval. Alpha is your confidence level of 0.05. It can be 0.01, 0.05, or 0.1. whichever level that you want, but it's normally 0.05, and that's your confidence level. And T crit becomes QT brackets 1 minus alpha divided by 2, comma, DF, that's your degree of freedom, equals the length of X minus 1. So the length of X is 50, so minus 1 is 49. So it's going to be QT brackets 1 minus alpha, that's 0.05, divided by 2. And then lower becomes point estimate minus T critical times SE, that's your standard error. And upper becomes point estimate plus T crit times standard error. And so now we're going to create a histogram that has the confidence lines in it. So hist brackets X, comma, main equals histogram with mean and 95% confidence interval. X lab is your X value and its value. Color equals light blue, border equals white. We're going to create a mean line. So AB line brackets V equals point estimate, comma, color equals red, comma, line width equals 3. And then we're going to create the lines of the confidence interval. So AB line brackets V equals lower, comma, color equals dark green, comma, line width equals 3, comma, LTY equals 2. And then AB line brackets V equals upper, comma, color equals dark green, comma, line width equals 3, comma, LTY equals 2. And then we're going to create a legend for the histogram. So legend brackets top right, comma, legend equals C, so you're going to create a vector. Paste is mean is your around dead point estimate. Paste lower 95% confidence interval, and paste upper 95% confidence interval. Color equals C, that's another vector it's creating. Brackets red, dark green, and dark green. Line width equals 3. LTY equals C. Brackets 1, 2, 2. BTY equals N. So we created a histogram. So the histogram that we've created is the mean of 10.07, a lower confidence interval of 9.54, and an upper confidence interval of 10.6. So you can see that on the histogram that is quite nicely prepared. So that concludes this video on estimates. So we calculated the point estimate, which is going to be mean, and then we calculated the interval estimate, which has the confidence intervals in it. So the next video is going to be another topic about estimation and confidence intervals. So I hope that you decide to watch it.